Okay, guys, so we're here on the Nikon stand. We're talking to the stand manager here, Rob. Rob, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
And you've got the Z8 in your hand. I'll ask you about that here in a moment. But straight away, what's hot on the Nikon stand? What is the camera that most people are interested in? Is there one?
I would say the Z8 in particular, because it's a really affordable pro spec model. It was actually the camera of the year last year.
Okay.
DP review camera, so everyone agrees with that over the whole world.
It's a high bar for DP reviews.
Not just us, but we've also got the amazing Z8, which is our retro style camera as well. So it's kind of based upon that sort of iconic Nikon film camera style, like the old FM2 and FE2 and so on. And that's available in lots of different colours, so that's attracting a lot of attention. But we've also got the flagship Z9, the ZFC, which is a smaller, sort of more consumer-based retro camera as well. So there's a lot of things that people are looking at the show.
So when people are looking for a model, obviously people have their own specialisms. You've got product photographers, you've got landscape photographers, you've got wedding photographers, portrait photographers. So if we're talking about sports photographers, for example, I'm assuming they're going to go for the flagship model. That's the one that's aimed, the Z9 is aimed for sports photographers, would you say?
For sure, yeah. I would say the Z9 would be the ultimate one to go for. Not everyone can justify that. So the Z8 is basically like a smaller Z9.
So what's the difference between this and the...
Effectively, they're very similar. In terms of the quality of images, there's no difference. They've got exactly the same sensor, same high ISO capability, same focusing and so on. The real difference is the ergonomics. So the Z9, it's slightly bigger, so you could argue that it's slightly more robust as well, but it's got a vertical control and a bigger battery grip. So if you're shooting like Premier League football or something like that, you'll need that bigger battery life because you're shooting a lot of images at high speed.
But the most important things sound like they're the same. So the sensor, pixelation, the ISO, all pretty much the same, which is marvellous.
Absolutely. So the Z8 would probably suit portrait photographers, wedding photographers,
any kind of photographers that wants a really good, reliable, well-built camera.
It's the all-round camera, I would say.
Absolutely.
So retail Z9, what's that averaging price?
So we'll quote the Nikon recommended retail, which is 5299 on the Z9, but I do understand that there are some good show deals with all the retailers here at the show. On the Z8, the recommended retail is 4000, but there are some really good deals on that.
Well, the show, we always know the shows are, here's
place to go.
Here's the place to go. Now, I've got two more questions with the Z50. Now, we're talking about the other end of the range here for affordability. Z range, that's the smallest full-frame sensor camera, is that right?
It's a DX crop sensor, so it's not full frame. Okay. If you wanted to go for the sort of the cheapest in the full frame, it would be the Z5 actually. Z50 is a crop sensor.
So the Z5. Now that's a remarkable camera. I think that's what I actually meant. It's such a small body. Okay, and it's great for travel stuff. It would be a good first foray for a lot of photographers into mirrorless. Because we're speaking to people. We've had our mirrorless system for 5 years now, but there are still photographers that haven't quite made the move. And if they're not in the market for sort of one of the top end cameras like this, the Z5 would be a really good sort of entry level camera to consider. Absolutely, 24 million pixels, very good for video as well. So a lot of good specs in even the sort of a lower range of the cameras. And I do love the retro style cameras. That they are. They're that fashion thing, aren't they?
Well, it's also a bit of nostalgia, isn't it? Because we've grown up with film cameras. Not everybody has. So
good point.
I mean, I guess for people like us, it's kind of nostalgia. But then again, for younger photographers, you never had to use those cameras.
That's right.
Again, it's quite a nice thing to hold. Oh, this is what it was like.
Absolutely. And on the ZF in particular, the dials are made of brass, like they were on the. So they're really tactile. You can really feel that. And the first time I got one into my house, because my first Nikon camera was actually an FE2, and I pressed the button and it felt just like one of the old cameras, and my thumb actually went like that. So it really harks back to the original sort of classics.
Okay, so Red. Can you tell us about?
I mean, what I can tell you is that we're really excited about it. We really don't have any details right now, and genuinely that is, I think it's going to be a while before we see anything happen. But it's a really exciting prospect for Nikon, and I think there can be some synergies there because they've got some really good technology. They've got great codecs. We know they're very respected in the video and the cinema industry, and I think it'll be a real stamp on the cinema industry for Nikon because we are making great video cameras as it is. The Z8 and Z9 have got good specs, but we don't have quite that heritage in the industry. So I think it's a really bold move for Nikon, a really good move for everyone. So I can only see that good things are going to come out of it, but we don't know what just yet.
Is that, do you reckon that's why Nikon have made that move? Just purely to get into that video market.
I think so, and I think it's a really good inroad for Nikon to do that and to be associated with Netflix and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that will be a great thing for us. So watch this space, but I think it will be positive.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's great because you were talking about a quality brand already, and with Nikon, if Nikon were trying to come out with something new themselves, it would take a while to filter into the industry.
It will do. Nothing's going to happen overnight, that's for sure. But it will be good when it does happen.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, we're looking forward to know what's going to come out.
Me too.
It'll be really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, Rob, thanks for your time. Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers.